What if I told you that the map of Europe you know today is a living testament to a migration so vast, it reshaped cultures, languages, and even genetics? Prepare to uncover the epic story of Europe's greatest migration, a journey through time that continues to shape who Europeans are today and what Europe might become tomorrow. Long before the first cities rose or empires fell, Europe was a land in flux. After the last ice age, small bands of hunter-gatherers followed herds across frozen tundra and lush valleys, gradually spreading across the continent. These were the first Europeans, people who lived close to the earth, adapting to harsh climates and forming the earliest demographic roots of the land. Then came a transformation that would change everything: the arrival of agriculture. Around 8,000 years ago, farmers from the Near East brought with them not only new tools and techniques, but a way of life. Fields replaced forests, permanent villages replaced camps, and the population began to grow. Genetic and archaeological evidence reveal how these early farmers mixed with native hunter-gatherers, blending cultures, languages, and lineages, the first great wave of migration that shaped Europe's human mosaic. As centuries passed, new forces drove the movement of peoples. The Roman Empire, stretching from Britain to the Middle East, became one of the greatest engines of migration in history. Soldiers, traders, administrators, and slaves moved freely across its vast network of roads and ports. Populations shifted, cities flourished, and Latin, the empire's common tongue, spread far beyond Italy. But Rome's fall unleashed another wave, the Great Migration Period. Germanic tribes, Huns, and Slavs swept across collapsing borders, seeking new homelands in the ruins of empire. These weren't just invasions. They were human migrations driven by pressure, opportunity, and survival. Out of this chaos, new kingdoms and cultures emerged, laying the foundations for the languages and nations that define medieval and modern Europe. The story didn't end there. The Age of Discovery opened new horizons, sending Europeans across oceans, but also bringing the world back to Europe. Colonization sparked trade, wealth, and the spread of ideas, but also displacement, exploitation, and disease. Then came another silent migration, one carried not by ships but by plague. The Black Death decimated populations, emptying towns, and reshaping the labor force. Villages vanished, while survivors found new opportunities elsewhere. Meanwhile, religious and political upheavals, like the expulsion of Jews and Moors from Spain, scattered communities across continents, leaving enduring marks on Europe's social and cultural identity. The Industrial Revolution brought Europe's next great migration, this time within its own borders. Millions left rural villages for booming cities, trading fields for factories. The continent urbanized, modernized, and transformed at breakneck speed. And then came the 20th century, and with it, the greatest human displacements Europe had ever seen. 2 world wars tore apart borders and lives alike. Refugees fled by the millions, empires crumbled, and entire populations were redrawn on new maps. Yet even amid devastation, movement didn't stop. Post-war reconstruction sparked waves of labor migration, as workers from southern Europe and former colonies helped rebuild cities and economies. From London to Berlin, Paris to Amsterdam, the multicultural Europe of today began to take shape. In our time, migration remains the heartbeat of Europe. The European Union's freedom of movement has allowed millions to live, work, and love across borders. But it has also sparked new challenges, balancing national identity with continental unity. And as crises abroad send refugees toward European shores, the continent once again faces questions as old as history itself. Who belongs? How do we share space, culture, and opportunity in a world defined by movement? From the first hunters crossing icy plains to families seeking new beginnings in modern cities, Europe's story has always been one of migration. Every border drawn, every language spoken, every tradition kept, all are echoes of journeys taken long ago. To understand Europe today, we must see it for what it truly is, not a static map, but a living tapestry, woven from countless migrations and still unfolding.